I will say with our thing, this was back when, obviously, I took my trip to Wisconsin. Fucking, what town were we closest to, Blake? Do you remember that one?
We were in... I want to say... Hang on. Let me Google it. I'll be honest, I forgot. Plainfield, yeah, that was it. That's exactly where we were. Oh, okay, the first one, we were not in Plainfield. We were in Stevens Point
Yeah.
for Bloody Bride Bridge.
Yeah, there's a bridge that a bride,
Yeah.
maybe her groom, might have gotten into an accident on and died, and they
Should I
supposedly haunted
Google
the
it?
bridge. Yeah, you can Google it to get the story a little more accurate, but I mean, I'll fucking give what I remember. So I guess car accident of some kind, obviously bride and groom, maybe not the groom, but definitely the bride, died in the car accident. Fucking... And supposedly she haunts the bridge. Supposedly if you're driving over it at midnight, if you look in your rearview mirror, you can see her in the back seat. Well, me and Blake got bored. Ghost hunting was going to be part of the vacation, so we just said, you know what, that one sounds pretty interesting. Fuck it. Let's head for it.
Yeah.
Drive, what was it, like about 35 minutes down the road?
Yeah.
On the way there, nearly get hit by a drunk driver going the wrong way in
That
oncoming
was
traffic.
Terrifying. We're not even
Yeah,
kidding.
that one was...
I
that
told
one
Lane
was
to
like
pinch me
actual...
because I felt like I was dreaming.
I literally was like kind of looking over at you. I didn't see him out the front window. I saw him drive past the passenger window. I was like,
did
oh
too.
fuck.
What if it was like a ghost thing, you know?
It wasn't
Wow.
a ghost thing. It was
Yeah,
fucking
it was
real.
real.
But yeah, it was some drunkard we nearly got killed by. He was doing 85 in a 65 zone going the wrong way on the interstate.
Yeah, and let me tell you, there were concrete barriers that divide the interstate, so you would have to go from the very beginning of the interstate, or like on an on-ramp or something, the wrong way. It's not like he could be on the wrong side and switch over.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking... Anyways, 35 minutes pass. We get to the town we're going to, and we get to the supposed bridge. So, we drive over it a couple times. It's fast approaching midnight. You know, we're driving over it, and you don't really hear or see anything. First couple of times we drive over, so we pull off. We park.
Okay.
We park, we start walking towards the bridge, and as we're walking towards the bridge, we start hearing something in the bushes, like right next to the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard something.
We heard
Well,
after that.
we keep point because we're trying to figure out what the fuck is over here. Turns out we were hearing crying, like the sobbing of a woman.
Yes.
In these bushes.
Not even
there was
shitting you.
nobody else out here with us.
Goddamn.
We tried to get it on. I tried to get it on camera, but the camera didn't pick it up. But like, I posted on my story. I have it saved somewhere too.
Yeah. Anyways, it freaks me the hell out because I am uncomfortable as hell because I'm like, I don't want to fucking be anywhere near this sobbing bullshit in the woods. I don't like that. Yeah, you made the dumb decision. You made the fucking typical white person in a horror movie decision.
Dude, I wanted to see. I said, dude, I gotta see if this is someone fucking with us or if this is real.
But we did. That's the thing. There was nobody else out there, and those bushes were too
cars.
thick for anybody to get back into.
Yeah, and it was by water. It was a bridge,
like right next to water.
Yes.
So there was no way for anybody to be back there or anything.
No.
Anyways, we get back into the car. It's midnight. Kind of turned around, like fucking. Kind of get turned around, and we're like, oh fuck it, let's head back. And then we're like, a second later, we're like, you know what? No, fuck it. It's midnight. Let's drive across the bridge one more time. Me, from my point of view, I'm sitting there looking at Blake, and I kind of look in the back window, and I see something white start moving towards Blake.
I had my window down at the time.
Yeah, and it had a vaguely human shape to it, and it was moving quick. I was like, pull your fucking window up!
Yeah.
Wow.
Freaked me
Now,
out. I don't know what
my
the
ex
fuck
was
it
there with us at the time, too. Now,
Yeah,
she told me she felt
Something.
something cold,
Yeah, she
and that
said something
was
touched her.
touched her. She was in the back seat. Lane was up front with me. And I believe her 100%. I believe her with a lot of things. This isn't
Yeah, and
just
this
because
was when
I'm,
we had decided, let's go across the bridge again, see
she
what
was
happens.
crying when we got to the gas station after this. But yeah, continue. We went across the bridge
So,
again.
Went across the bridge. Blake said he saw somebody else in that back seat.
Yeah.
Like, Megan was still there, but there was another silhouette of another person sitting in the back seat right
Yes.
behind me. And obviously Megan had the physical touch and the feeling of a
She could feel a
deep chill
temperature
in the
drop.
back seat.
It felt cool, she said. That's
So
usually what you feel when a ghost is
something
near.
was there with us.
And it might have felt comfortable because it was another girl. And we weren't there looking to disturb anything either. We were looking just like to,
Is
sorry.
anything actually there?
Yeah. We're sorry for what happened. Like, we paid our respects, if you can call it that.
But we also freaked the hell out because it was
we
scary
did.
as shit.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It was pretty scary. Like, Dylan, you may not think it's scary, but in the time, it's terrifying. You're out in the middle of nowhere.
No,
There's
I
no
totally
one
understand.
around. It's midnight. We almost fucking
crying.
died because of a drunk driver on the way there. That was scary enough.
Yeah, so we're on edge. We are not comfortable. We're fucking, and like when you hear crying, you're just like, no.
I will tell you, I plan on doing this again. Multiple times.
Yeah, well, if you're doing it again,
Not
you better
alone.
have me there.
Yeah.
Lane, would you like a pickle?
No, I'm okay. Okay, so this is like our actual IRL ghost story because
Yeah.
this is what me and Blake experienced when we went ghost
He
hunting
came
in
here to
Wisconsin. And then we went over to where Ed Gein's house used to be.
Yes, Ed Gein.
Oh,
That
that's
was
always
cool.
fun after almost getting hit by a drunk driver and hearing and
Crying.
experiencing a fucking ghost. Yeah.
Yeah. There's more ghost
Ed
spots that
Gein?
I know where to explore around here. I just
Ed
don't
Gein
want to
was
go
the guy
alone.
who the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based on.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was in Wisconsin. So, welcome to Wisconsin, where we have, serial killers everywhere. Just kidding.
Hello, gentlemen.
Oh, we were just telling IRL ghost stories. All right, am I good to start?
Yeah, fuck it, man.
you want a pretzel turtle?
So, if you want to
I
restart,
would
so-
love
doubt
a
it,
pretzel.
but,
So, Lane, do you want to just like take turns, like you do one, then I do one, or?
Do you want me to send you the link?
Well, no. I mean, like you take turns with the stories that you have on your phone, and I take turns with the stories that I got.
Sure.
Okay.
sounds like a good idea.
Anyone want another bar?
No thanks.
I would ask for one, but I can't. Too many calories.
I also have popcorn, some other shit.
All right,
I
so
actually came with snacks.
get the actual setting right. We're in 1897.
1897. Got it.
So the beginning of the story has a thing in the early 1800s, so that should fit a-okay here because, if I say in the early 1800s...
My character's eyes are closed. He looks like he's trying to mock an Asian.
Of course. But, alright. Anyways. In the early 1800s, John Bell moved his family to northwestern Tennessee's Red River settlement. A few years later, Bell encountered a strange animal sitting in the middle of his cornfield. The animal had the body of a dog and the head of a rabbit. When Bell attempted to kill the creepy creature, it ran away. The family soon after began hearing mysterious knockings, rattling chains, faint whispering, and even dog fights in the dead of night. For years, the Bell family kept their troubles a secret. Finally, John Bell shared his family's trouble with his neighbors, and soon the entire region heard of the Bell's Witch. After years of torment, John Bell was mysteriously poisoned, and the spirit's visits became far less frequent. A number of theories attempt to explain the witch's presence, blaming a series of women, including Betsy Bell herself. Some local folks still insist that strange things still happen around the Red River settlement, and blame the Bell Witch. Quick one. Alright, go ahead.
So, when I have my stories, when I'm telling my stories, these are purely from experience. Like, this actually happened, at least in some portion of my mind. I want to say 10, maybe 11, and I was in Boy Scouts at the time.
Oh.
And there's a place just right outside of Georgia in Alabama
Gotcha.
that it's like called Camp Comer, something like that. Anyways, it was a Boy Scout camp, and we go there. We do archery, BB guns, all the sort of stuff, and we camp out. And I remember one time I couldn't sleep, so I actually got out and walked around. This was in the dead of night, and this camp, when I say it's a camp, it's kind of similar to how Coulter is, but without the snow.
Gotcha.
So it was pitch black.
Right.
And I remember hearing something in the night, and this was an area that is normally like filled with raccoons, you know, just more small mammals than anything huge.
Yeah.
So I hear this noise, and I try to stay away from it because, I mean, I don't know what the hell it is, and it sounds pretty unnerving.
Right.
So I try to go back to my tent, but the sound kept following me, and I don't know how, but when I turned back around to go towards my tent, I was on the edge of where the campsite should have been. I was on the complete other side of my tent. I don't know how I got there. I don't know why. I don't know why that happened. But all I know is I was staring in the woods, and I saw two big old eyes. They were glowing kind of whitish.
Yeah.
And
Phones. Disrespectful fucks.
and I remember this thing coming into light,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I don't want to say that it was this, but I honestly think it was a Wendigo.
Oh shit! Really?
Either a Wendigo or a Skinwalker. I can't really tell.
Either or, you
I'm
don't want to
trying
fuck
to-
with them.
Can we not use that name while we're up in the fucking mountains? Somebody summon that bitch!
But
We're
As long
we
as
got five
none of us has eaten human flesh in the last few days, we should be
Doesn't
fine.
matter if we summon
Looks
that
at
bitch.
Chubby Arthur.
Yeah, I said we got one
But-
of those, dude.
But yeah, next thing I know, I am
Over here.
back in my tent,
Right.
and apparently I woke up screaming.
What? How old are you?
I was like 10 or 11. I was in
Pretty
Boy
young, buddy.
Scouts, and I woke up screaming.
Chubby Arthur, what are you doing?
And
with that
I
body?
told them what happened. And they said it was a bad dream.
Yeah.
But how I
Shit
know
for that.
it wasn't a bad dream, how I know it wasn't a bad dream, it was like I said, it was dark and it was in the woods. But
Chubby Arthur,
am-
no.
I didn't have any shoes on because I was getting ready to go to bed,
Gotcha.
and my feet, in some parts of my feet, were bleeding because I was walking around on pine cones and whatnot.
What the fuck, dude?
I just
So-
realized, am I a black version of Chubby Arthur?
So whatever I saw that night, I really hope I never see again in my lifetime.
That's fair.
Jesus fucking Christ, yeah, that's fucking terrifying.
All right, your go.
Oh, you really are a black Chubby Arthur.
I'm sorry. I was looking at him and we were having the exact same beanie.
So should I do fucking actual horror stories from the time period, or should I fucking
How did you even find these, like?
Google?
Look him up.
Yeah, I tried to. It just redirected me to some Victorian shit, and that's not even what I'm trying to find.
Well, I can Reddit horror stories. if
Alright,
you want,
guys.
which-
Do you want to hear a
So what's-
story? Well, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You know what? No. It's
No,
up
no,
to
no.
you.
Go
Are
ahead.
you
Go
sure?
ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
I've
I
got
got a
ghost
few-
stories from the Old West, but like,
Yeah.
you know, these
See, I'm
aren't
black, I don't
exactly
fuck
what we're
with
looking
spirits.
for.
I don't fuck with spirits either, Dimitri. But
Oregon
okay, man.
Trail
Remember that one
ghosts,
time you and I?
mysterious signals.
Alex, shut the fuck up. Literally, Blake is trying to talk.
I'm sorry.
You stupid shit.
Okay. So it's another Wisconsin story. I got a few. I saw that. Guys, stop! I'm trying to focus here. Guys, come on. Did you kill him? Who's that? I don't know who that is. Anyways, so I had to be like 13 years old here, right? Stop!
Knock it off.
Trying to tell a fucking story, guys. Please.
I'm
I
taking
know.
preventative measures against Lane.
Guys, please just sit by the fire, get warm, and let's talk, okay?
Ain't no one getting warm near this fucker.
Now with this
our
thing, we
food
need
is
like
wet.
gasoline. Okay, so I was about 13 at the time. I was here in Wisconsin, and you guys remember that film called Jeepers Creepers? Well, I was out at my grandpa's house, and there was a cornfield, right? And this was like maybe 9, 10 o'clock at night, maybe a little bit later, pitch black. It was around fall time, and I just remember seeing this thing on this barn, and it looked like a human. It looked like that thing from Jeepers Creepers. And I turned around, look in front of me, then I turned back, and it was gone. Like, I started running, man. Then I looked back and it was there again, and I fucking ran, dude. I'm getting chills talking about it because I think something's out there. I'm fucking scared, man. I'm 13 years old or so. I didn't know what to do. I was all alone. I was out looking for sticks, man, to carve and fuck around and, you know, pretend like I was tough. After seeing that, I told people and they didn't believe me. I didn't have like well, I might have had a cell phone, but not a very good one to capture that at nighttime. People would have thought it was been Photoshop. I ran back to my grandpa's house. I had to maybe be like a quarter mile away. It was fucking scary. I just remember looking there and it was gone. Then it was back. And then I heard something rustling. Rustling in the cornfield. That's when I fucking booked it.
There we go.
Like, it's not
I'm
much
sorry.
of a story. I'm just basing this
I'm
off
sorry.
of memory.
Can you just give me a second?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Fucking. God damn it, Alex. Seriously.
Come on,
fuck
guys.
off. Quit with your shit.
I'm trying to be for real.
Fuck off.
But like, does that sound scary? You know, if you're a kid. You
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
I'm the one being told to quit with my shit, huh?
Well, come on, guys.
Yes,
please.
because he was trying to tell a story, but you were so busy fucking trying to throw a body in the fucking fire that he actually gets burned.
Please, come on, guys.
All right, that's
Like,
enough.
To me,
Well, you know
Dylan, that
Snake was
seemed
dropping his
very
mixtape.
scary. Here in Wisconsin, I'll see things. One time in Texas, I swear to God, I thought I saw Bigfoot. I saw that bitch turn around. I've seen a lot of things.
That's
man.
enough.
Come on, guys, please. Alright, next. Who's gonna tell a story now? It's
You
not
could
much of
take
a
this
story.
inside.
Actually, let's travel to the actual camp. Get out of the
You know
fucking
what? You know what? I'm cool with that. Let's do that.
Yeah, I like that
That's who
idea
I
a
guess.
lot.
Alex, you keep fucking messing around. I'm gonna hog tie you and throw you off a goddamn cliff. You understand that?
I'm the one that keeps fucking messing around. Are you joking me?
You threw a body into the fire.
You
You
threw a
kept on
body in.
repeatedly attempting to throw a body into the fire lane. You're the one that
Guys,
fucking
guys.
started that.
Guys,
I
stop
was
it.
trying to put it away.
Stop with the arguments, okay? Just fucking get it over with.
All right.
I
Guys,
don't know
we're all
how I
friends
wound
here.
up at the table. I literally fast traveled to camp and immediately was at the fucking dinner table.
This one seems interesting.
Chubby Morgan was hungry. Also, you sure you guys want any pretzels and cheese?
Make sure I'll actually slap you.
I would love some, but I am nowhere near you, and therefore cannot have any.
Oh,
just has a-
since we're
he
all in
just has a
camp, we actually have
cheese
actual
launching
benches or
cannon.
fire.
He's just
Tears
got
a hole into
cheese.
reality, just puts it through the hole. It just shows up on your desk. What the fuck?
Alright.
Guys, this
Yeah,
time we
I
can actually
definitely want to
sit.
get more ghost stories. Just sit down, guys.
So,
Relax.
yeah, I've got this thing,
Alright, let's hear it.
Go ahead.
La Llorona,
Yeah,
Spanish for the
Rona.
weeping woman.
I've heard of.
I know this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crusoe,
it's
La Rona.
pronounced La Llorona.
Yeah, I saw the movie on that. Yeah.
I'm listening. I'm just doing something. Go ahead.
Good.
No one really knows when the legend of La Llorona began, or from where it originated. The tales vary from source to source. Common thread is that she's the spirit of a doomed mother who drowned her children and spends eternity searching for them in rivers and lakes. La Llorona, christened Maria, was born to a peasant family in a humble village. Her startling beauty captured the attention of both the rich and the poor men of the area. She was said to have spent her days in her humble peasant surroundings, but she would don her best white gown in the evening and thrill the men who admired her in the local fandangos. The young men anxiously waited for her arrival, and she revelled in the attention she received. However, La Llorona had two small sons who made it difficult for her to spend evenings out, and often left them alone while she cavorted with the gentlemen during the evenings. One day, the two small boys were found drowned near the river. Some say they drowned through her neglect, but others say they may have died by her own hand. Another legend says that La Llorona was a caring woman full of life and love, who married a wealthy man who lavished her with gifts and attention. However, after she bore him two sons, he began to change, returning to a life of womanizing and alcohol, often leaving her for months at a time. He seemingly no longer cared for the beautiful Maria, even talking about leaving her to marry a woman of his own wealthy class. When he did return home, it was only to visit his children, and the devastated Maria began to feel resentment towards the boys. One evening, as Maria was strolling with her two children on a shady pathway near the river, her husband came by in a carriage with an elegant lady beside him. He stopped and spoke to his children, but ignored Maria, and then drove the carriage down the road without looking back. After seeing this, Maria went into a terrible rage, turning against her children. She seized them and threw them into the river. As they disappeared downstream, she realized what she had done and ran down the bank to save them, but it was too late. Maria broke down into inconsolable grief, running down the streets, screaming and wailing. The beautiful La Llorona mourned them day and night. During this time, she would not eat and walked along the river in her white gown, searching for her boys, hoping they would come back to her. She cried endlessly as she roamed the river banks, and her gown became soiled and torn. When she refused to eat, she grew thinner and appeared taller until she looked like a walking skeleton. Still a young woman, she died on the banks of the river. Not long after her death, her restless spirit began to appear walking the banks of the Santa Fe River when darkness fell. Her weeping and wailing became a curse of the night, and people began to be afraid to go out after dark. She was said to have been seen drifting between the trees along the shoreline or floating on the current with her long white gown spread out upon the waters. On many a dark night, people would see her walking along the riverbank and crying for her children, and so they no longer spoke of her as Maria, but rather La Llorona, the weeping woman. Children are warned not to go out in the dark, for La Llorona might snatch them, throwing them to their deaths in the flowing waters. Though legends vary, the apparition is said to act without hesitation or mercy. The tales of her cruelty depends on the version of the legend you hear. Some say that she kills indiscriminately, taking men, women, and children, whoever is foolish enough to get close enough to her. Others say she is very barbaric and kills only children, dragging them screaming to a watery grave. When Patricio Lugan was a boy, he and his family saw her on a creek between Mora and Guadalupita, New Mexico. As the family was sitting outside, they saw a tall, thin woman walking along the creek. She then seemed to float up on the float over the water, darted up the hill, and vanished. However, just moments later, she reappeared, much closer to them, then disappeared again. The family looked for footprints, and finding none, did not doubt the woman they had seen was La Llorona. She has been seen along many rivers across the entire southwest, and legend has become a part of Hispanic culture everywhere. Part of the legend is that those who do not treat their families well will see her, and she will teach them a lesson. Another story involved a man by the name of Epifanio Garcia, who was an outspoken boy who often argued with his mother and his father. After a heated argument, Epifanio, along with his brothers Carlos and Augustine, decided to leave their ranch in Ojo de la Vaca to head to Villarreal de Santa Fe. However, when they were along their way, they were visited by a tall woman wearing a black tapilo and black net over her face. The two boys were riding in front of the wagon when the spirit appeared in the seat in between them. She was silent and continued to sit there until Epifaniana finally turned the horses around and headed back home, at which time she said, "I will visit you again someday when you argue with your mother." Sure.
Oh,
Incentive.
that's pretty scary.
It continues,
Really?
and continues, and continues. If I didn't notice how long the page was, I'd have continued.
So that
Alright.
is the story I've heard in Arizona. Okay.
So, alright,
La
who else?
Llorona.
Who's next?
So many.
I mean, I can go again because I got one pulled up. 'Cause I pulled up the subreddit of ghost stories.
Fuck.
And I'm pretty sure Dimitri just ate shit. Alright.
I pulled up Legends of America, because I know these would be stories that you would be somewhat familiar with.
I'm
Shit.
pulling these from my mind and memories.
The ones I said
Well,
were
then
from
I'd
my
like to hear
memories.
yours a lot more then, Dylan, if you got actual
Yeah,
I was gonna
memories.
say,
Okay,
if you've
okay.
got memories of this shit, by all means, take
Alright.
the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I was at my grandfather Larry's house.
Alright.
My grandfather Larry, he is not a good man whatsoever. Honestly, if I had the chance, or if he died tomorrow, actually, I would not go to his goddamn funeral. And if I did, and if I was forced to, I would say the truth about him: that he was a bastard, animal abuser, racist, bigot, anything and everything that's bad. That basically be him. So, I was very young, very, very young. I'd say maybe 5, 6, something like that. Basically in first grade. I remember going out and feeding the chickens with him because he had a good size. He got a good size land, so he uses it for chickens, cattle. Although there wasn't very much cattle, and he had a giant pen full of beagles that, well, let's just say that they were mistreated.
Dimitri, where are you going?
I gotta go drop something off. I'll be right back, boys. Don't worry about me. Sorry.
Well,
I'm
that's like-
sorry, continue.
Anyways, I remember walking through the chicken coops, because it was almost like a maze of chicken coops. And my grandfather said that he had to go back to the house to grab more chicken feed. So he just left me there. Now, being a young kid, I was kind of nervous, because this land is decently sized, and the chicken coops kind of form a little maze. I remember seeing a red dress just kind of sitting there. I approached the red dress, and it was gone. the second I reached it.
What?
And I remember turning around and seeing it again, but instead of it laying on the ground, it was standing upright, and it was full, like if somebody was wearing it, but there was no person. It was just the dress. And so I approach it again, because, I don't know, I was a weird kid, I guess. But
You're curious.
approach it-
Nothing wrong with that.
I approach it again, and this time I actually felt something touch me. It wasn't cold,
Okay.
but it wasn't warm either.
It was
But
empty.
basically, but it grabbed both sides of my, like both of my shoulders. Not very hard, more like comforting, motherly like. And I could feel the actual motions of thumbs rubbing up and down my shoulders. And then I felt whoever who was wearing that dress grab my hand and lead me back home, or lead me back to my grandfather's house. After that, never saw a red dress ever again. But to this day, I can remember how to get back to my grandfather's house if I was
Yeah.
ever lost in the chicken coops.
I'm shocked. That's
Not very, not
doesn't
very
make
scary.
sense.
Not
It's-
very scary, just unnerving.
well, it
Still-
doesn't make sense. Like it. I'm
Still
not
one
saying I
hell
don't
of a
believe you. I'm just
story.
saying like it doesn't make sense for it to do that. Like what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I understand what you mean. One thing's there, one thing, then the next second it's gone. I do. Just trying to tell you how I felt about that thing I saw in the woods. I've seen multiple things in the woods, man.
Like I could fucking tell you what. I can't tell you what kind of dress it was because I don't know what.
No,
I
it's
don't
fine, man.
know all different dresses, but I
I
can
don't either, yeah.
describe it to you damn near fully.
Red dress.
It was.
Okay.
It was almost like. I want to say it was almost like Victorian style, but it had Spanish sort of floral patterns on it.
You know, I wonder
Especially
if it was,
on the
yeah.
especially on the bottom half.
I wonder if it was something
So-
sacred or who knows, man. I know I sound crazy, but still, maybe it could have meant something that belonged to someone, like maybe his grandma from a long time ago. You know,
I doubt it.
I don't know. I'm just coming up with shit. But
So, do you want to hear another one, or does someone else want to go?
Alright.
If you've
go
still
for
got
it. Go ahead.
stories,
good, if you got the real ones, let's hear the real ones. I love these.
Which,
Okay.
by the way, if these are in any way personal, you know Blake is live streaming, right?
Oh yeah, I know. I know. I wouldn't say something. I wouldn't like tell
No,
anybody
no.
anything unless
I've dropped your
unless I knew.
N-bomb how many
Your
times
grandpa
you're
was
now
a
telling you
fucking
this?
animal abuser. That ain't right.
No, he was he hasn't said, and you haven't said anything yet, Dimitri. Trust me.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
I was about to call my horse's name.
Yeah, don't call your horse's name. Or if you
shame.
do, just say
I mean, that's
just
up
say
to
in.
you.
Just say
But,
bitch
I
titty.
recommend you not to. So,
But this one was actually fairly recently. Like as of 6 months ago.
that's recent.
Yeah. But I remember I was home alone because my mom actually got up and went to a doctor's appointment that I've been telling her to go to because, you know, she needs to go to the fucking doctor, get a decent
Yeah.
bill of health, which she refuses. Now, I normally am ecstatic when I am home alone because I don't have to do anything. I can just kind of sit around, watch TV, catch up on shows, and you know, kind of mill about. But this time, I felt like I was being watched. and it didn't feel like it was coming from like a certain point. It felt like it was everywhere. So I go into the kitchen and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm just paranoid. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm just having the jitters because I haven't eaten. So I go into the kitchen. I make me something. Can't remember exactly what, but I think it had something to do with, like, you know, chicken and whatnot. But I go into the fridge and I grab me a soda. And I remember closing the fridge, and right then and there, as I close the fridge, there is someone standing there. And I could tell you exactly how this person looked,
Okay.
this person's expression, the clothes they were wearing, even the pattern on their boots. I can tell you exactly that. This guy was 6 feet tall. He didn't, like, his face didn't look very menacing, but he was angry for some reason. He was wearing a large fur coat, almost denim-like, blue jeans, and he had Celtic pattern boots.
Right.
Well, damn.
And his haircut was very odd. Like, very odd even for today's standards.
Right.
I actually can't even describe it, because it was just so weird. But he did something similar like the red dress lady, we'll just call her. The red dress lady did. Except he did it with force. He grabbed me by both shoulders and just started screaming into my face. And the thing was, I didn't hear his voice coming from him. I didn't hear it come from his mouth. I heard it in my head more than anything. Almost like tinnitus. Except it's coming from my brain, not from my ears. And I stood there a solid minute, and he was still screaming. I didn't scream back until he actually started hurting me to the point where I actually had bruises on, especially in my right shoulder.
Right.
And once he started hurting me, I yelled back. I started screaming profanities at this dude that even the devil himself would not want to hear. And I got so fucking pissed. And so I yelled back. And I didn't stop until he let go and eventually disappeared. Afterwards, I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared at all. I was angry. I was fucking livid.
Jesus, man.
I had to go outside, and I had to use... I went outside, I grabbed my machete, and I just started cutting down, like, small trees. That's how angry I was. Like, I wasn't cutting down, like, full-fledged pines, but good God. I chopped down at least 3 small trees.
Yeah.
And next
A
thing
menace to the environment.
But still,
and then
you're going.
Yeah. And I black out, and next thing I know, I'm in bed, asleep, sweating. And my mom's home, and she said that apparently she found me. She found me sitting outside with the machete. She thought I did something,
Oh, God.
but all the machete had was just, you know, like,
Sap.
yeah, tree sap. That's it.
What the fuck?
So she basically told me to grab the machete. I don't remember any of this.
That's fucking
told me-
scary, Dylan.
She told me to grab the machete, and apparently I did. And I cleaned it, and I put it back up, and went back in the house, went to bed. That's it. Nothing else.
Dude, I'm getting chills from this one.
What actually makes me frightened about this wasn't the guy, because the guy, he had kind of a baby face, kind of like
Right.
me, but his eyes were yellow.
What
Oh,
the fuck?
I don't
Like the
yellow
iris,
eyes.
like
Those
the
are
irises, yeah, the irises were yellow. But normally that would make anyone terrified.
Yeah.
But even as this guy was screaming at me, I wasn't scared. I was progressively getting enraged.
I feel like I felt like where you're coming from. Like you have to fight back, like in your dreams, but this was reality.
Honestly, dude, I don't even know. Like I can't really even tell you if this was real or not, because
It sounds
for
real
all
to
I
me.
know,
Yeah.
it could have been just a fucking really fucked up fever dream.
Yeah, it could be.
And to
Maybe you
and
were
to be
sleepwalking,
honest,
you never know.
if somebody came up and told me that it was a fever dream, I'd accept it right then and there, because I don't know what else to think of it. Because I never black out. It's very
I've
rare
never
that I
blacked
black
out.
out.
Not that I know
But
of.
yeah, that one kind of stuck with me, and this was only 6 months ago.
That's really recent, man. 6 months.
Yeah.
Shit, we should start talking
And
about this shit more. If you guys are
actually, I
comfortable
think
with
this was the time when I was getting on to Lane for something that he didn't even really do. I was like
it.
pissed
Wait a
at
minute,
him
is
for
that
some
what this
reason.
happened? Because I remember there was beef between you guys with something.
Yeah, there was beef, but there wasn't
we didn't
any
know what
beef.
he was. You were just pissed, man.
I was just fucking livid for no damn reason. Because I believe this was back in February when I actually was mad at Lane for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically what happened. I never saw that guy again. But I fucking saw that those Celtic pair of boots that he had with the Celtic pattern. I saw those at a fucking thrift store.
Weird.
And yeah, it was really odd.
I just say we'll have to get off at like 1 in the morning, so.
You're good.
Okay.
Fucking.
That's fucking
Do you want me to
terrifying,
keep
man.
going?
Fuck yeah.
No.
I do. This is like encouraging, man. Dude, do it for the fans and us. Call up Dylan, man. Hell yeah.
You have fans.
Do it for the vine. Okay, no.
This man is vibing.
But this one actually happened when I was in high school. Not just not just time wise, but
Okay.
physically in high school. So, the high school I went to is fairly new, I want to say, because
Gotcha.
it was made in 2006, and it was supposed to be a prestigious high school, but no, they just went ahead and made it a public school. So,
Of course.
but I remember walking down the halls, and this was like the last day of junior year, I believe. Yes, junior year. And I remember walking down the halls one time, and no one was there. No one was in the halls. No one was, milling about, because usually the students are somewhat, responsible.
Right.
And I remember turning the corner, and I see my Latin teacher, Mr. Carroll. My Latin 2 teacher, Mr. Carroll. He's just standing there. Not doing anything, just with his back face to me. Yeah. And I go up to him, I tap his shoulder, he turns around, and instead of his fucking wannabe Tony Stark goatee and his goofy ass smile. In his goofy ass smile, it was
Sounds like something I'd do.
like, how do I explain this? His face was smoothed over, basically. Like, think Slender Man, except he still had hair.
What the fuck?
Fuck.
And I just start running. I run to the bathroom because I didn't know what to do. So I ran to the bathroom, and I just kind of sit there for a minute, and everything's fine. Everything's fine. I go out, and I just explain to the teacher that I was running late and I was helping somebody out. Didn't ask any other questions, and I just sat back down.
Gotcha.
And what was actually really fucked up about it is that apparently that was Mr. Carroll, not just some weird apparition. He wasn't just standing there, he was actually talking to another student that I didn't see. And I tapped him on the shoulder, and then I just started running. He thought I was pranking him. Which I never do. So he thought it was a bit odd and just wanted to ask me what was wrong. I didn't tell him anything, because, I mean, what the fuck do you tell him? What the fuck do you tell your teacher that he's apparently got a Slender Man face, but still had his fucking hair? Yeah, no.
I feel like I'd be tripping, Dylan.
What was actually really messed up about this is like this school, like there was no fatalities in it, and, like nobody actually died in it or anything. Like it's only 15 years old, and yet it's having weird things happen. Like I wasn't the only one that had some weird shit happen to them,
Yeah,
which I'm actually kind of glad.
I like these. I think they're like experiences that are important, to be honest. Because if you didn't have them, like, what the fuck would you do?
Like actually thinking back to it, I've had a lot of these before. Some small, some big, and it's just...
I can relate for a few. Maybe more? I don't know, because I thought people would laugh at me if I told shit like this. But it makes me feel more confident and comfortable. It's fucking scary, though. You know.
Oh, you're gonna... I just thought of a different one, and you're gonna like it.
Oh, yeah, it's your...
Let's hear.
So, I was in Washington, I believe.
Right.
It was a vacation that me, my aunt, and my dad, and my uncle, at the time, were planning on. And this was like back in 2018, I believe, and I still have pictures. So I'm pretty sure it was 2018. But we go up to Washington. We have this nice little cottage sort of homestay that we can stay in for like the next 2 weeks. Because we don't plan on staying too long. We just kind of want to hang out, look at museums, kind of, just do some tourist stuff. So we go to one of the Smithsonian's. I believe it was the one where it had like mainly nature kind of stuff. Like they had a whole butterfly room where you get to actually go in, and it's like a nice steamy kind of warm kind of room with all different sorts of butterflies and moths flying around, and it was really nice. But I remember when we actually left the Smithsonian, I saw in one of the higher levels of the building,
Right.
there was a guy. Actually, I don't even know if it was a guy. If there was a person, we'll just say,
Okay.
wearing a fucking bunny costume that looked like it was from hell.
What?
like it was torn. There was a missing
Yeah.
ear. The eyes were bleeding red, and
Sounds
it
like
had a
something from
tongue. It had like a weird looking cotton tongue that was flopping out, and it looked like part of it was bitten off.
hell. Yeah.
The arms of the bunny costume were ripped off. All you see is like the guy's pale ass skin. It was just, God, disgusting.
That sounds
And
pretty
it was
gross.
Yeah, it was just a weird dude wearing a bunny costume. I blink and it's gone.
What the
And
fuck, dude?
my aunt and uncle are like, "Are you okay?" I didn't say anything because, well,
Yeah, you
obviously,
weren't
what the
okay.
fuck do you say?
Yeah, right.
And I remember going back to the cottage, and I remember having a bad dream about the bunny rabbit dude.
Oh man.
Wasn't I don't think it was anything that scary. It was just I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm not going back to sleep.
Yeah, fuck that.
Perfectly fine with that, bro.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
I had another
So,
one that happened in Washington.
I just did a bit of digging, Dylan,
Uh-oh.
What?
about the yellow-eyed thing.
About the
Because
what?
you were
Yellow eye
pretty
thing?
adamant about the yellow eyes, about having yellow eyes.
What does that mean?
Okay.
It seems that whenever yellow eyes are involved, it would appear to be a human spirit, but it's on a mission for something. Now, whether you pissed it off in a past life or something remains to be seen. You'll figure it out eventually, but it does seem angry at you. Well, maybe
can't-
not at you, at something.
I know you're trying to be serious, but I also feel like you're trying to scare me, and I
Oh,
also
no.
want to.
I don't
I,
think
uh,
it's
I'm
I'm
not
just-
trying
yeah.
to scare you.
It's just like
If I
they
was
like the
trying to scare
cadence.
you, I'd have cracked by now.
The
Yeah,
cadence that you
would've.
had is just like, oh yeah, well guess what? You're gonna die tonight, little Billy, and it's just like, no, off.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that to you.
Oh, I swear
Yes,
to
you
me.
would.
Of course,
But
you wonder why I've been quiet and not like responding to anything. It's because I've literally just been looking through fucking Google bullshit to try and find something that would actually fucking tell me anything about it, instead of linking back to fucking Supernatural.
I have another one that happened in Washington, and it's a fairly short one. It was like 2 or 3 days after the bunny rabbit incident, and it was like, I believe it was like the last day that we were gonna be in Washington, and we didn't want to go anywhere. We just kind of wanted to sit in the cottage, watch some TV, maybe play video games or cards or whatnot. And this cottage area that we rented out, it was like a small neighborhood of cottages basically, and it had a swimming pool, a little kid one and a big one for adults. I remember going out one day. It was very early in the morning. I woke up way too early for some reason, and I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm up, so might as well make myself a cup of coffee. I made myself a nice cup of coffee, and I go out on the porch.
Oh,
It was nice. It was misty. It was all sorts of foggy, and it was just it was
sounds
like
like a
it was like a
beautiful
nice
morning.
cool. Yeah, it was a nice cool morning, especially for Washington. And I remember looking at this pool area because the porch has the perfect pool, a perfect view of the pool. And I
Yeah.
remember looking at this pool area, and normally when it's windy or it's misting, like you could actually see droplets kind of ripple throughout the pool. No.
You
there
see something
was
swimming.
yeah, there was something like sifting through it. Not necessarily swimming, but just kind of sifting through it. And I almost wanted to get up and go there, but something told me no. But I did it anyway. So I go up to this pool. I open the gate because these guys, whoever was security there, was fucking terrible at their job. But I go up to this gate, I open it, and it was, whatever was in there was still going. It was still going. And it was a rectangular pool, so it went all around the rectangle.
Gotcha.
And it didn't stop until I reached the same point as where the
Whatever it is.
yeah, was sifting through it. And it stopped. That was it. It didn't do
No
anything
return.
else. Nothing else happened. I went back to the cottage, finished my coffee, and just read a book. Because I didn't know what else to fucking do. Like, okay,
I don't blame that.
that's creepy as hell.
Mhm.
And it's funny because where we went in Washington, we went to like Smithsonian's, we went to the actual burial site of like a bunch of soldiers, whatnot, the tomb of the unknown soldier, and whatnot, and we didn't see anything there other than me seeing the fucking bunny costume guy in the Smithsonian. We didn't see anything there.
What the fuck? Smithsonian's supposed
It
to be
was-
usual.
Yeah. But yeah, that was basically the Washington trip.
Shit.
Oh god, I got another one, actually. It was actually the time that me and my friends decided to do some ghost hunting. Now, if y'all want to hear this, just let me know now, because once I start, I can't stop.
Do it.
Do it.
Alright,
Well, I got till. Wow, well, fuck it, do it.
alright. So, this was back in, like, 2015, 2016. I was visiting some old friends, and we were just kind of having a nice day of it, and they asked me to stay over, and I was like, yeah, you know what, sure. I ain't got nothing else going on right now. It was in the middle of the summer. All I really had waiting for me at home was chores and dogs, which, you know, I love my dogs, but need a break from them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember we were just kind of milling about, playing video games, and it started getting darker. And I remember my friend, I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he's watching or not, but I remember him pulling out a fucking Ouija board.
Oh,
And
no.
I said,
You closed
I
off the
said-
session properly, didn't you?
I don't know, because I didn't take any part of it. I said, okay, you know what? Fuck that. I said this exactly. You know what? Fuck that. I'm going upstairs. I'm taking me a soda. I'm taking one of your sodas, because that's some bullshit. I go up, I grab a soda, and I come back down. They have just finished setting it up, and this guy, I love this guy. He's a good friend. But God, he has the whole kit and caboodle. He's got candles, he's got salt, he's got those little itty bitty fucking crystals.
Dude, quit that
Shit, this guy even has a crucifix.
I have that for
And
safety, damn it. That's it.
And I'm just like, okay, you know what? If you want to do this, fine. I'm not taking any fucking part of it. You give me that. You give me some of that salt. I'll make my own salt circle, just so that way nobody fucking jumps in.
Exactly.
You make your own salt circle just in case a sea bear attack.
Yeah, I went ahead and made a salt circle around the pool table that was in the basement with us. It was like, this area is my area. You don't come over here. If y'all get possessed by demons, that's your own damn fault. Fuck off.
If you all get possessed by demons, I'm ready to start fucking swinging.
I'm gonna be over here playing pool.
Yeah, I'll be over here playing pool by myself.
Bitches, I got the holy water on speed dial. Don't fuck with me.
I'm gonna dip the end of this pool cue in salt. Poison damage.
Ginger Jesus on speed dial.
Pulls her balls.
Literally out here like fucking, if y'all fucking get possessed, you gotta take a fucking billiards ball to the fucking skull. Okay.
For those, since Blake's recording, for those who don't know who Ginger Jesus is, it's one of our other friends, Ryan, and he's a funny dude, whatnot. But anyways, as
Is
the
it
story
Ryan a
goes,
med student? Or a nurse?
yeah, he's a nurse at a elderly facility. I believe.
Ah.
Anyways, they start the ceremony with like 2-3 other people that I don't know. They're buddies from his school because we went to different schools. Excuse me. But I remember almost immediately feeling the back of my neck, like the hairs on the back of my neck, start to stand up a bit.
No way.
And they were doing the whole thing where you gotta move the planchette across the board in
Nope.
in like an 8 sort of fashion.
Yeah, you gotta move it in like a circle 8 thingy. Yeah. Know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
And
Never will I do it. Never.
I
I'm
remember
sorry to interrupt this story, but please remember, kids, even if you are 8-year-olds and you are allowed to use a Ouija board because of fucking rules state on a Ouija board you can be 8 and older to use one, do not fucking play with a Ouija board.
Yeah, never play with a Ouija board. If
I
anything
don't
The
get
happens,
beginning of
that.
The Exorcist started.
Yes. My dad
I don't
told me
get
a
that.
story about
In
this shit,
America,
and
you
it's
can
not
you have to
fun.
be 21 to drink, 18 to smoke, but 8 to summon Satan.
I love
And
it.
only white people do it.
Thanks
Hey,
for
look.
thank
You
Hasbro.
know
So,
what?
yeah.
That's also fair.
So,
That's incorrect. I had my buddy Jamal do it,
remember-
but then again, I had him at gunpoint, so.
What the fuck, dude?
So,
Exactly, a white person forced us to.
So,
Oh god.
my dad was
kidding, just
my
FYI.
dad was telling me like the time he did like
Can we let
a
Dylan
spirit
finish his
box
story?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finish that first, and then I'll tell you about this one.
Okay. Like I said, almost immediately the back of my neck, the hairs just started spiking, and it's just. And what
Just
was
straight up, like
just straight up, just like spears. Like
just
it, like
like
if,
this.
like
This isn't
fucking-
right. We need to move. We need to get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
yeah, it's just
Go
like
now.
it's just like run, never come back.
Gotcha.
And I remember saying, y'all, yeah, you gotta stop this. Something's not right. And they all looked at me and they started laughing. Not creepily. They're just like kind of laughing at me, like, oh, he's scared. He's a fucking pussy or some shit. And I remember this.
Yeah, I've been there.
I remember specifically this one guy, this one fucking guy. He's from Philly, and he goes, oh, look at this guy over here, fucking
Of course, he's
Jesus
from Philly.
Christ.
Every
Jesus
word out of
Christ.
his mouth, you just want to fucking deck him in the jaw.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, just wait. So, they asked the first question. Nothing happens.
Right.
The first question, I believe, was, is there anyone here? Nothing happens. They asked the second question, like, what is your name? Nothing happens. And they asked the third question. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but the number 3, especially when it comes to, like, a knock, or
Oh,
just...
no.
Is a mocking of the Holy Trinity.
Exactly. It's the mocking of the Holy Trinity. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. The third question was, why are you here? And they actually got an answer.
Was it a good one?
Oh, hell no.
It wasn't even a real answer.
Oh.
It was...
I came looking for man's butt. Sorry, I had to.
You got the fucking boot you are in. I came here looking for booty.
I came here looking for booty.
Come on, we gotta finish this.
It's one hell of a way to interrupt, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking.
Also, I
alright,
have some
continue.
bison over here if you want them.
But
3 stars.
I believe the letters went like this. N A D E R, Netter or something like that.
I'm actually gonna Google search that.
Same here.
Don't actually okay. You know what? Fucking fine. Google it. If y'all
I'm not
get
saying I don't
possessed,
believe
y'all
you.
get possessed. I'm taking all the salt. Okay?
Ralph Nader, American activist.
You know,
But-
I was gonna say, do you think your smartphone's gonna be possessed and just start attacking
Wait,
you with
wait,
your...
hold on. Wait.
Nader,
Alex.
an Arabic word used in Hader evaluation which can be translated to mean rare or unique. Also, Nader, a German surname meaning embroider or tailor. A slang term
Alex.
for tornadoes.
Alex, the author or whatever, who say that name again?
Ralph Nader. He's still alive.
Ralph Nader.
Yes, he's still alive.
Okay.
Such a fucking
like Mater.
Okay.
He's also
How is it spelled?
Nader. There's also Shafiq Nader, Ralph Nader's brother.
He's an author, yes?
American
what you said?
activist.
Writer and activist. Okay.
No, American activist.
Oh, American actor. Okay, never mind.
See,
Because I remember...
he's
I
got a
remember
brother, Shafiq. He's dead.
The only reason why I stopped and I asked you because I remember there was a book on my friend's parents' desk that had the name Nader on there.
You know, I'm gonna be real, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I swear to God, I first thought I heard you say Mater.
Fuck off.
I mean, would you want to be
I
haunted
didn't-
by Mater, the ghost?
You're
Or
dead.
the
No.
horse?
I love this road! Anyway.
Shoot.
Anyways, the third question, like they get the answer, and it spells Nader, I guess. And then they ask another question, and all of a sudden I just start feeling terrible,
Oh. What do you mean?
and like my stomach hurt,
Oh yeah, Dan.
my-
Dude, I've heard of these. That's a
my
sign.
stomach hurt, and like oddly enough, it felt like someone was grabbing my kidney.
What the fuck?
Make sure it was Nader and not Nater.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Naeder. So it was those letters.
Naeder.
It was those letters, but I can't remember the exact formation it was. But I remember the fourth question. I don't even remember what they asked because I was so focused on like the pain of my stomach and oddly enough my kidney. And I remember one of them start shaking.
Right.
Like he's still conscious and everything, but he starts shaking. He's like, I don't know what this is I don't know why this is happening. And you okay there?
Yeah, I was just about to say.
I'm running away from the police!
All I
with
hear
a
is
5-star freaking bison pelt, and there's like 5 of them here.
starting to sound like fucking.
Alright, well, just keep it to yourself. I know this
Shut
wasn't
up.
the best time for your people, but
Sorry.
we're listening to the stories.
Damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
But anyways, the fifth question comes around, and this guy's still shaking. I'm still feeling pains in my stomach and my side, and the fifth question comes around, and the question was, who do you have? And to this day, my friend was the one that asked this question, and to this day, he does not know why he said it. He doesn't know why it even came up in his mind. He says, "Who do you have?"
Came out with your name, didn't it?
Yep.
What?
Not Dylan, but my last name.
Ooh, fuck that.
Oh boy.
And then
Trap yourself with it.
Even sick, I would just be like, fucking close it.
And at this point,
You have to say goodbye though.
the guy from Philly, he's shaking damn near uncontrollably. Like he could barely hold
Shaking
the
like a leaf.
planchette.
Was he possessed?
He could barely hold the planchette still.
Okay.
And when I hear my last name, I'm not going to say it because, recording and
Yeah,
whatnot.
that's fine, guy.
But
Yeah, I know what your last name is. I'll put it in the group chat for people who might not know it.
yeah, but when I hear my last name being spelled out, the pain in my side gets
So much worse.
like I thought I needed like an appendectomy. I thought I needed fucking something because it just hurt. And the funny thing is, they didn't ask another question because the planchette was still moving even after it spelled my name out. And it finally spelled out an actual name, and it spelled the other guy from Philly.
Oh, God.
I
God
got that
damn.
cocksucker, huh? He was making fun of you, and now look at him shake. I know.
And then
that
he
shit's
asked,
nothing to fuck with, dude. My dad's
and
got
then
a
my
story about
friend,
it.
asks another question, and he basically, the question was, why won't you let him go? And oh fuck.
What?
Yeah, oh fuck. What's the matter?
I don't know if I told. Hold on.
I swear to God, if it comes out, if it had to come out with my last name, that's it.
No. There was no more names. There was no more names. It's
Whoa.
just kind of. Just give me a second.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I'm willing to give you as many seconds as you need.
But, I don't know if I told y'all this, but I'm pretty sure Ryan and Dimitri know this. But I had a dream not too long ago where I was out in a meadow and there was three people standing on a stage. Like a trapezohedron sort of stage. And they said, "Beware the serpent," to me. And then I woke up.
Oh.
Fuck
And
that.
And when I'm recalling the story, I'm almost 100% certain, at least 99.9%, that what that answer was, why, to the question, why won't you let him go, is the snake.
So, when you're on about beware the serpent, I'm going to assume it means something that would frequently.
I don't know. Like it was a dream, and they said beware the serpent, and I woke up. But when I'm recalling this story,
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
Beware
almost
me. No.
I'm
No.
almost positive the snake is what came out. Or snake.
What the fuck?
Now, for those that don't know, snakes and serpents are basically the same thing,
That's what I
except
thought.
they
one's
are.
except one's just a fancier word than the other.
Yes.
So, I don't know who the snake is, or what the snake
I
is.
have an idea because if we're speaking in biblical terms, which chances are we are, what did Lucifer disguise himself as in Eden?
As a serpent.
as the snake.
As a snake.
As a
With the
serpent,
serpent,
yeah.
they called it back in the day, yes. That's the only time I can think of it, guys.
Oh god, I'm actually shaking. That's,
I'm getting goosebumps, guys. It's alright. It's alright, man.
But, I remember... Of course you would.
Feels
You're
at
not
home.
the one. You're not the one with like some weird main character syndrome, dickhead.
No, I've got chaotic side character energy.
Fair enough. But
He's gonna die in the third act of the show.
No,
but I remember just before.
That's my role. Do not take it.
But I remember just before my friend asked another question, I took a giant thing of water that was nearby. It was like one of those big ass canteens. I took that big fucker. I threw it onto the candles, grabbed all the salt, poured it all over that fucking Ouija board, forced the thing to say goodbye, and just threw that shit in the fireplace and I burned it.
I've heard some scary stories about that, Dylan. I've been told people will burn shit, and you know how you were saying like that dress would
It'll
appear?
free it.
It'll fucking appear right on the table again. Like you always, I know you said you forced it to say goodbye, but somehow even then after that.
Dylan,
What?
everyone still had their hands on the planchette, did they not?
Not when I started pouring salt all over it.
That's bad.
Oh, that's very bad.
Oh, that is very bad.
You're always supposed to keep your hands on. I've never played it. We're
Everyone
not trying to freak
keeps
you
their
out,
hands
yes.
on.
Yeah, Dylan, when you
Otherwise,
break
that
contact with
does not close it.
I
That
know.
opens it further.
I know.
and it lets the thing out.
Well, how do you
I
close
know.
it for good after that, though?
You burn it. You try to burn the portal, I guess.
So,
No.
I got a question,
Get
and this is
erased.
actually serious.
Yeah.
So, correlations between these stories. First off, this story you're talking about was when?
2015, 2016.
Okay, cool. Wouldn't that technically, being what you did, technically line up with the one story of the dude screaming at you?
I don't know, because
We're not trying to freak
I
you out.
don't
though.
know, mainly because this guy had yellow eyes, and I don't know any snakes or serpents with yellow eyes.
Snakes can have yellow
Yeah,
eyes, I think,
but-
can't they?
Snakes
I
often
think-
have yellow eyes.
What about cats, like cougars?
What does that have to relate to? It's
That doesn't
fucking
relate
know.
to shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, okay, now I have a question for y'all. Should I go see a priest?
Yeah.
yeah.
Quite possibly.
We're not fucking with you.
Go see a hot nun, too.
Never tell your friend.
Dimitri?
Tell your fucking friend
I'm joking.
to not fuck with those damn things. I
You,
told.
you know what's crazy about that?
What's up?
My friend, I saw him like 2 years ago, and we still kind of talk. I saw him 2 years ago. He was fine. Everything was fine. He was doing great. He was already enrolling in college,
Oh, yeah?
and he already had a job lined up and everything. And his parents, well, they weren't great, but they were still pretty good. And I just, oh god.
So, who wants to hear the story I have?
Go for it.
So, my dad was telling me about when he first did it, like, anything related to that with Harry, my uncle, right? And Harry was being mad disrespectful the entire time. Which is something you should never do, by the way. They were camping out that night, and well, Harry had tripped on a rock. Well, I say tripped, but according to him, he said he felt like he'd been shoved, and he punctured his cheek on a tent peg.
Ow.
And so Dad put the spirit box back on and went, "Are you the one that did that?" Yes. And if you want to know which one he's on about, I refuse to say his name, but I'll give you a hint. Begins with Z.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh. We can't say it anywhere, otherwise...
so is the second letter actually O?
It is indeed. And by the
Son
way,
of a bitch.
we
I
can't
know who it
actually
is.
say his name, because every time we do, he gets more and more powerful.
Yes, okay, so what it is
Ripped the door out of...
I don't know what it
Ripped the
is.
door out of my dad's missus's hands and stopped her from shutting it. Like, she went to
Voldemort.
shut it and it got fucking blew backwards.
Was
Like,
it
it blew back
Voldemort?
open.
No,
Shut up.
it's the name
Sorry.
of this
Don't you
thing.
dare.
No, Dylan, this thing is a demon.
Yeah, I figured.
It is not friendly, and it is one of the most dangerous fucking ones that you can get on a Ouija.
Oh,
It has
no,
a
okay,
history
never mind.
of
Never say
I'm
his
gonna-
name.
I'm gonna shut the fuck up because I think I know which one you're talking
I
about.
don't
has
know.
a-
Does it still work if you text it?
Yes.
has
I would not. I
Don't.
really would not.
dope.
Well, I'm not going to because I don't know it. I don't want to search it up now either.
It has 2 Z's and 2 O's. I asked Alex, is the second letter of the name O?
Oh, Lane. I think I know because you told me,
Yeah,
showed
you're
me the
on-
video of that girl shaking, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then starting to laugh.
Yeah, that was that.
Let's never
Shh.
let's never mention the name. Let's
Yeah,
never
let's
mention the
change
name.
topic.
That one.
Change topic. Change
No,
topic.
no.
About
No,
something.
we're
Because-
continuing because I want to hear the rest of this.
Okay.
Well, that part basically stopped at it punctured my uncle's cheek with a tent peg. But let's just say it got a lot worse. It actually got to manifest itself.
Fuck that.
My dad refused to enter his flat for a couple of weeks from there. But guess what? He still saw out the corner of his fucking eye. There he is. The one we will not mention. And then, after that, my dad just went, fuck it, and basically cleansed everything he had. Everything his mum had, everything his dad had, everything his missus had. Didn't see him again, and as such, refuses to mention the name.
I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about now.
Yeah,
See,
you know
this-
what I'm talking
see, this
about.
is the kind
Never
of
mention
shit-
the name.
This is the
There's
kind of
also
shit
the
that makes me
time,
want to go
you know,
back to church.
There's also the time someone took a picture of my nan on her couch, right? One that's up
No,
against the
don't
wall.
tell me.
It's not the one we're thinking of right now.
No, but what I mean
And
was
sat beside her, in old-fashioned dress, in old-fashioned nurse garb, mind you, was a Victorian nurse in the early 1800s. Because the place that she currently stays used to be a nursing home. There's also the fact that my house is haunted as well. When I was little, I used to see an old fella stand at the bottom of the stairs, dressed in a black suit with a black hat. Couldn't see his eyes. He had no feet whatsoever, no hands, and he had a smile with missing teeth, and rotten teeth.
Ow!
Refused to go downstairs when I was a kid.
I don't fucking blame you.
Not in the dark. And I'd sleep with my door shut.
I always do.
Light on. I still
Ow.
sleep with the light on for that reason.
Really?
Yeah. They're friendly enough, but I take no chance. There's also
So-
the time when I was at my mate's house, staying there for the night. Sleeping downstairs, I played Mortal Kombat till about 3 in the morning, when I heard the kitchen light, like the actual switch, do that. And Thing is, there's only one way into the kitchen and one way out. That's through the room I'm staying in. No one walked through. Everyone was upstairs.
You know, I'm kind of glad I'm spiritually dumb. I have like no idea.
By the way,
what
this wasn't.
the shit you're talking about.
This wasn't like some simple like, oh, it happened ages and ages ago, so I could be misremembering it. Shit. No, I was playing Mortal Kombat X. So this one's fairly recent.
I don't want to freak anybody out, but all of a sudden I just got the like strongest pain in my head.
I might just be thinking, man.
I mean, yeah, it could just be like
I'm
one
not
of those
trying
random
to bullshit you, yeah.
one of those
Just when I
random
get the
head
whispers.
pains, but it just came out of nowhere. I mean,
Back left. Is that correct? Back left of the head?
Yeah, actually, why?
I've been getting that too.
Don't bullshit.
How recently?
No, I had one literally today.
What? No way.
Weird.
Today, a week ago.
I've been having head pains
2 days
sometimes
before
after I
that
get
one
done mountain
happened.
biking.
I heard you say back
they're
left and
recurring.
him immediately go silent, and I was like, what the fuck?
Because that's exactly where it was, and it was like, wait, Alex, was it warm afterwards? Like, did it shoot and then like feel warm afterwards?
Yeah, and it had an annoying remaining pain. Not painful, but it's just there.
Ah.
This isn't good.
You know, I'm
This
scared to
really
just get
isn't
any
fucking
shit
good.
for ghosts now, like a spirit box or something.
Can we
Like
call
find
up
out I have like a
Jessa?
shit ton of actual ghosts and shit around me, but what the fuck?
Can we call up Jessa real quick and just be like, hey, can you like cleanse us real quick?
Is she
Yeah,
a
no,
priest?
I'll go to my dad for that. He's local. Well, local-ish. Other end of the country, but still to me that's local.
But
Compared to the rest of
I'm
Europe.
glad I came to bed strapped.
I'm glad I've got a golf club under my bed.
Golf club? What are you talking about? I have a 12 gauge.
You gotta fuck with someone when they can throw themselves off their bed, roll under it, and come back out with a golf club and a fucking hammer.
Yeah, who's gonna fuck with someone when I can do that exact thing and come out with a semi-automatic 12 gauge like, hey, fuck with?
Wait, is yours the Super 90?
No, it's a AR-15 platform, 12 gauge.
Oh,
I should probably head to bed,
15
guys.
round magazine.
I don't know
And
why,
golden
but the
rings.
moment you guys started talking about golf clubs and shit, I'm just thinking of the one scene from Regular Show, like the horror movie segment.
but Dylan, you ever have one that like
I'm thinking of
remains by
Wayne
your right
Muscle
eye?
Man just with a shotgun.
say again, Alex.
You ever have one that's near the right eye, like around that area or just above?
Yeah, but I usually just chalk that up to sinuses.
Mine's never been a problem with sinuses. When my
Yours
sinuses
what?
get clogged, it's more of a centralized pain.
Huggies.
I get weird ones where I literally feel like I have something in my skull pushing on the back of my eyeball sometimes.
Oh yeah, I've had that one too.
Yeah, that
But
one's
yeah,
weird.
no. I'm more worried about the one that I was able to immediately pinpoint for Dylan.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
That's worrying.
like when you got it dead on, like it
Means
like
dead on.
dead
Yeah.
on, like bullseye.
Yeah, back left, slightly up a bit, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like not quite, not quite on the center. Like on the center of where my head would, or like where my ears would be, but just slightly.
Just slightly to the right of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, back left, not over the ear, just slightly right of the ear and slightly up.
I got a feeling that if
We might be in trouble.
yeah we gonna be in trouble.
Nah, you'll be alright.
I might actually need to go to church.
Might actually need to call up some old friends. Because I used to be friends with people who ran a church.
I could have saved you, but I just didn't feel
Ordained.
like it. And
Yeah?
I feel so lost during this whole goddamn conversation.
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah,
Jesus!
like, I was actually friends with like a married couple who ran a church, and the person who ran it was actually ordained by the church, like by the Catholic Church.
Wow.
I know why Blake knows of that one spirit, and it is because of me. I sent him an old video of a girl who was
Got
playing
possessed.
with a Ouija board, and yeah, she got possessed, and you immediately hear her start chuckling, like a lot, like an unnatural amount, where like her and her buddy start laughing, and she's laughing a lot more than they are, and then she just cannot stop.
Did she like scream and push her friends over when they were trying to help?
We'd always joke about that. Light his feather, stiff as a board. Light his feather, stiff as a board. Yeah, you see why I tell people not to fuck with shit. Why? Does it really, though? My dad and I used to joke about it. We'd be like, oh, let's practice witchcraft, and we'd say it, like, jokingly. I don't like where this is going. You guys are scaring me now. I don't want to go to sleep. No control. Yeah. Fuck that. Alright, I gotta get to bed, guys. They're already scaring me now. Got a Bible around here somewhere. Alright, you guys take care, okay? We could probably talk more tomorrow. If you guys are on. Why was I thinking the same thing, Lane? What did you think fucking confessions for, jackass? Alright, you guys take care. Good night, guys. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Everyone take care, huh? Yep. I am. Hang on.